Yo, we live.
Hey,
Hey, yo.
what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Three Guys and a Mic presents Half Hour Power.
That's
where
right.
We're talking about nothing but power metal.
Whenever we started this list, I didn't really have expectations, but man, 2 albums in, and dude, I'm pretty pumped about this. I've started I found a power metal workout list that I've been using while I work out, and it's just randomly, it's just a bunch of random stuff. And dude, I just been randomly a song will come on and messes up my workout because I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and heart this real quick.
You gotta stop, yeah.
I need to go back to that because you're working out, you're not really paying full attention, but it's I need to remember who this is real quick.
Yeah.
And dude, it's been really good. I am very glad that we started this.
I agree. So if you're just tuning in with us for the first time, we're doing the top 30 power metal albums of all time. Hopefully, if you're tuning in here, maybe you subscribe to us already, or maybe you're just stumbling upon us and you haven't seen some of our stuff in our archive. But we do a lot of pop culture stuff. But we also do a lot of music, particularly around metal. We're currently in the middle of doing a top 50 heavy metal albums of all time list as well.
That's more with our. I was gonna say that's more with our full crew. This is just half of us right now. So
yeah. So actually, if you're interested in that, we're gonna go live tomorrow night, and we're gonna do the next 5 albums on the top 50 heavy metal albums. But we came across a Blind Guardian record in the first 5 albums that we did on that list, and it kind of took us down this rabbit hole of power metal. So we put together our own list of 30 power metal albums to talk about here. So last week we talked about the album Holy Land by Angra. Today we're talking about the debut album from what seems to be the godfathers of power metal, Helloween, and the album's called Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, so Helloween has been doing this for a really long time, as I'm sure you'll get into in a second there, Josh. But this last week we just after the podcast we kind of dipped our toes into the most recent Helloween record. I think we listened to a couple of songs off of that came out last year, and dude, they're still crushing it. So I mean, I don't know how many albums they have off the top of my head, but it's well over. I think it's over 15 or close to it.
I have that answer for you in my research, Dave.
All right, you know what? Why don't I stop talking? Yeah, why don't I stop talking and let you go ahead?
All right, so Helloween, Walls of Jericho. So Helloween is a German power metal band founded in Hamburg in 1984. Helloween has been referred to as the fathers of power metal and are considered one of the big 4 of power metal. Marcus Gross, I'm going to fucking butcher these names, and I'm sorry. Marcus Grosskopf and Michael Weekoth are the only original members still in the band today. Helloween has 16 studio albums, including their latest release, Helloween, that was released in 2021. They also released a new single in 2022. They've sold over 10 million records worldwide. Walls of Jericho is their debut album. It was released in 1985. The album's lineup features Kai Hansen on vocals and guitars, Michael Weekath on guitar, Marcus Grosskopf on bass, and Ingo Schwichtenberg on drums.
Yeah. So
no singles, nothing. Didn't chart obviously, so none of that other info. So what we're going to go into right now is our shitometer score. And again, if you're just joining us, we decided, as we were going through some of the different material we've covered over time, that we needed to develop our own proprietary rating system, and we like to refer to things as shit on this podcast.
Yes.
So we decided that we would create our own patent-pending shitometer, and the name of the game here is you want to get the lowest score possible. You want to score a 0, right? And as you go higher and higher, that's just varying levels of shit. If you get anything above a 50, that is definitely, we would not recommend that. And if you get all the way up into the 90s to the 100s, that's fucking explosive diarrhea, Taco Bell level shit.
Yeah. So just for a frame of reference, and I did this to try to make things a little bit easier for those that are just brand new tuning in. So just for a reference, mine and Josh's cumulative score for the Angra Holy Land record was a 34.5, and we would equate that to like if you're going off of like a tier list, we would equate that to like a B tier record. So very, very respectable score. So
yeah. So Dave, what would you give Walls of Jericho?
So I mean this with complete respect. I think this definitely does scream debut. And I guess I don't want to get too far into it, but for this being the debut of a power metal band, this didn't actually bring a lot of the power metal to the fold. At least it seems like it was in the infancy. So for me,
it's a thrash record.
Yeah, for me, very enjoyable. But I think it has some clear skippers. I'm gonna go with a 39. So just on the cusp of B tier, basically B minus, C plus.
You give that a better score than what I thought. Yeah, I'm gonna go into my review of this here in just a second, but just from a score standpoint, I gave it a 49.
Oh, okay. So that's for those keeping score. That's essentially a mid C tier, like basically dead average score. It is what it is.
Yeah. So what's that? What is that? What's that put together there? That's
44.
44. All right.
Yeah.
So like we talked about, I think there's in the first episode of this series, we talked about like what is power metal, right? And some of the things that you think about when you think about power metal are production and vocals, right? Like soaring vocals.
Yes. Above all else, I think also like a feeling of man, it sounds weird to describe this, but I think an overall optimism for me. Yeah. Like I just feel like I don't know, you listen to a power metal song and you feel good, like it's not depressing. And look, you and I, we like our share of depressing metal, for sure. In fact, when we were a band, that's pretty much exclusively what we wrote.
Yeah. Betrayal.
Whoa! Somebody's gonna steal that. Okay, well, that's our $1 million song there.
Oh God.
But no. But I think with power metal, it's you kind of feel good, like, or you want to you want to go fight some demons, basically. Like I don't know.
It's like music to go LARP to, right?
Yeah, 100%. In my case, I want to roll some D20s and kill some goblins and some orcs. Yeah, all that good stuff.
So, it certainly, look, the album came out in 1985. I would say for 1985 level thrash production, I would say it's above average. I would say this probably sounds about as good as Ride the Lightning does in terms of production.
Yeah, and I would say, Ride the Lightning is an above average. I would put this slightly above Ride the Lightning, just in terms of, not in terms of quality of the record, obviously, but in terms of production specifically.
Yeah, but you can certainly, to your point, you can certainly hear some of the beginnings of what they're going to become. And look, so they have 3 albums that are on this list, right? So they have this one, and then they have the 2-part album,
which is like number 1 and 4 or something on this list. So.
Yeah, number 1 and number 3. So like those 2 albums, we're going to see them again, but much later. So they certainly figure it out on the next couple albums. But yeah, so you hear the beginnings of it, but the vocals, for me, that's the weakest part of the album for sure.
Yeah. And look, there's nothing against Kai Hansen. I mean, he's the guitar player on this record as well, or one of them, and he doesn't sing after this record, right? So now I know he does sing, and this is an outlier, but on their most recent record in 2021, one of the shticks was, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago, they got back everyone who ever sang for the band. They brought them back into the band as a permanent member. And so, like, he did sing on their most recent record, but without counting that, he doesn't sing on the other records that he's on. He just plays guitar. So,
probably for the best.
I would say yes. So, That being said, look, I don't think he's a bad singer. I think he does. To your point, Josh, when you talk about what power metal is all about, you do need a really, really strong vocalist to kind of carry the load, and he's just not, in my opinion, it doesn't fit with what I'm looking for.
So I think, my score is not necessarily, it's not fully based on the enjoyment of the album. I think it's based on the fact that it's a pretty good thrash record, but as a power metal record, it's a little disappointing. So if I was rating that as a thrash record somewhere down the line, maybe I'd give it a better score, but I'm also taking into account that I was really hoping to turn this on and fucking get that power metal vibe.
I think we're grading this on a power metal scale to a certain degree. So, we kind of try to keep that in mind. So, one of the things that we're doing with this is, we can't get away from themes, right? Because we're pretty much losers.
Lazy.
Yeah, that too. And so with half hour power, we've picked on all of these records we're gonna talk about the best half or our favorite half of the record, and we're kind of gonna go back and forth on it, and hopefully we match up. But if we don't, we can discuss that. Like basically, what do we think are the top half of the songs? So there's 8 songs on the album, so we're going with our top 4 songs here. So Dave, you want to go first? Give me your number 4. Number 4, and look, I'm gonna be honest. These bottom 2, I could flip them at any point in time, but I'm gonna go Guardians here.
We do have different songs.
Okay.
Guardians was my honorable mention. I flipped back and forth on that one, but I landed on Metal Invaders at number 4.
That was my number 5.
Yeah.
That was my number 5. It's a good song. I like Guardians. Guardians starts off really fast. I really like the way that song starts. Now, to be fair, Guardians is essentially a thrash song. But look, I just picked the 4 best songs off the record for me. I like Guardians. Yeah. Guardians is a good song. Like I said, the guitar
is, and it's got some power metal vibe to it. Yeah. And pieces in there. Yeah.
Just like the overall, the guitar work and everything, it's really well done for me.
Metal Invaders, it just feels like an old school thrash banger, right? A lot of good guitar work on the album. I mean, there's a lot of good guitar work all over the album. That's not a problem for this, right? Good solos. There's not a ton of standout riffs, and especially on this song, there's really nothing stand out from a riff standpoint. But it's a cool vibe. It just feels like just a fucking. It's almost like Whiplash from Metallica a little bit, right? Or Caught in a Mosh. It's a fucking banger. It's a vibe.
You know what song I couldn't? I know, I'm already going off base here, but you know what song I almost had, but then I ended up demoting it all the way to my 6.
We're not going to say Heavy Metal is the law.
It was.
What a cheese fest.
You know what it is? It's the faux live feel of it that kind of does it in for me. It's
got some good bass playing in that one.
Dude, it's a good song, but it was just a little too on the nose for me. But anyway, I digress. I saw that on the track listing. I was like, that song had a chance to make it, but it just didn't work out.
All right. What's your number 3?
Number 3, you got to have this. Phantoms of Death.
Also my number 3, yep.
Okay. All right. Now, dude, Phantoms of Death is a great fucking song.
Very 80s hair metal.
Yes, I love the opening riff, the dun 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 dun, like that. And really, it is very 80s, but I don't know, it just works. Again, not overly, it's not overly power metal, I guess.
No,
at least
I would say not at all.
Yeah, not what you think is power metal, right? But
it's got a good chuggy bridge, and then at the 5-minute mark, there it goes back into the main riff, and you get the vocals come in. He's like, "Come on!" And it's dude, straight up 80s cheese, man.
But dude,
so good.
The bass and the we've talked about it a lot, but the bass and just the guitar work, like, dude, the lead guitarist is really good. Like, I think that's hands down facts. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice, 6.5 minute song. It's weird because, and that's, I think, why I kind of rated the album the way I did. I kind of kept it, just in that B tier. Because, like, the strong songs, although not power metal necessarily, or, they don't scream power metal, they are really, really good for me. So you said that was your number 3 as well?
Yeah.
All right, number 2. I could see if you have these flipped. I'm going to be disappointed if you do. And for me, it's Ride the Sky.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Same.
Okay. Then I would be, if you don't have what I think is number 1, I'm going to be mad at you. Because it is unquestionably the number 1 song. Anyway, we'll get to it. Ride the Sky. Walls of Jericho / Ride the Sky. What was that?
I definitely think it's more Ride the Sky, because I hear that way more than anything else in the song. They have the fucking gang vocals, which are cool.
Yeah. No, Ride the Sky, to me, that's full on power metal almost. Like, at least it sounds way more like modern power metal. Than anything else. And look, the fact that they did that in 1985, I mean, there's a reason why these guys are considered, essentially one of the godfathers of power metal. Very good sing-song chorus. And it's, dude,
I'd put this, like, if we did a list of, like, top 100 thrash songs, I think this song would be on that list.
I think so.
Like, I think this is a fucking great thrash song. The vocals, maybe less power metal, more Judas Priest, somewhere in that range. The solos. This is the best solos on the album.
You know what's funny is you hear this song, and I feel like his vocals are really, like, well suited for this song.
Yes,
but I think the other songs. You know what sucks about this song is after this song you have to hear Reptile, and that song is not good. I'm sorry for all the Reptile fans out there. Look, I'm gonna say, Josh, right now, that I don't think Reptile is super popular. I'm looking right now on Spotify, and I know Spotify is not the end all be all, but Reptile has the fewest number of plays of any song on this record.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna say Reptile sucks, and it's an instant skipper.
Well, with that, my number 1 song is Reptiles.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's not. It's dead last. It's absolute shit.
Yeah. But no, like, Ride the Sky, excellent song, excellent chorus, great solos. And then Josh, go ahead and tell them what our number 1 song is, because it's 100% got to be the same.
There's no way it's not How Many Tears.
No, absolutely.
7
minute 15-second epic song. That opening, like, just like, like, double bass throughout.
Yeah, and it's, this is the only song on the album that really feels like a power metal song. Like, this feels like they wrote this song, and then they sat down, they're like, hey guys, I think we got something here. I think maybe we take this and we just lean real heavy into what this song is, and we do that for the next 2 albums, and we change power metal forever. What do you think?
And they're like, okay, Kai, stop singing. I got somebody else real quick. Let's go do it. And then they release Keeper of the Seven Keys, parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which, spoilers, we both have cheated and listened to a decent amount of both of those, or not every song from those records, but we've listened to a number of the songs from those records at this point.
Yeah, and they're good. Like,
they're really good.
There's the 11-minute song. It's called Helloween.
Yeah, on Helloween. Okay, look, we're trailing. So, like, How Many Tears? It's absolutely, like, look. The opening track of this, with Ride the Sky, and the closing track of How Many Tears, just excellent bookends for a record. The bridge, like this, they slow it down on how many tears, and it's really good. The solo that comes in after that is
Dude, the harmonized guitar solo. Fuck. Unstoppable.
And then when the drums kind of kick in, and it's like a slow jam over the solo. Oh, dude, it's so fucking good. Yeah, man, like I know we rated this essentially C tier, but dude, like Helloween, like I'd still recommend this record if you're even not even if actually, you know what's funny about this record is that this is like a really good, like almost like a gateway power metal record. Like if you know somebody who's like a thrash metal fan, like especially somebody who likes like early thrash, like, and if
maybe we should give this to Gomez.
Yeah, like because this doesn't scream power metal. You know what I mean? And especially the guitar work on some of these songs is just really, really good. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with this record. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, looking ahead here, the next album on the list, it's a band called Master Plan. The name of the album is Master Plan. This one came out in 2003. Look, you know, sometimes it's hard to resist listening to some of the future bands on the list. So me and Dave have listened to the first song on this album, and holy shit, we're excited to get to this album. So, look, tune in this coming Saturday. We're gonna drop our 30-minute review of the Master Plan record. So, in the meantime, hope you like the content. If you do, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll be doing this weekly only on YouTube. We're not going to be dropping this as a podcast, so this is just a special show for our YouTubers. And also, we're doing top 50 metal albums of all time tomorrow, albums 45 through 41. And at the end of this week, we're going to do a little catch-up on some Boys review, Obi-Wan. We got a lot to do.
It's a lot to do. So we will talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.
Live long and prosper.